In the frostbitten heartland of Norway, amidst the shadows and the eerie northern lights, emerged a band that would forever change the face of black metal. Join us as we delve into the history of Darkthrone, a band that not only became a symbol of the infamous Norwegian black metal scene, but also redefined the genre with their unconventional approach. Darkthrone's origins can be traced back to the early 1980s when two young musicians, Gylv Fenris Nagel and Ivar Zephyrus Enger, discovered a shared passion for heavy metal and underground music. They began experimenting with various styles, from traditional heavy metal to death metal and thrash. Fenris and Zephyrus soon met a like-minded musician, Anders Necrobutcher Odin, which many of you would know from Mayhem. Together, they formed the band Black Death in 1986. Under this moniker, they released the Land of Frost demo, which showcased their early death metal influences. As the Norwegian metal scene evolved and the second wave of black metal began to take shape, Darkthrone decided to embrace this new wave of extreme music. In 1988, they changed their name to Darkthrone, signifying the shift towards the darker and more atmospheric sound that would define their future work. Prior to the release of Soulside Journey, Darkthrone faced some lineup changes. Anders Odin left the band, and they recruited Doug Nielsen, aka Doug the Norwegian, as their bassist. With their new lineup, they unleashed their debut album Soulside Journey in 1991. Although the album leaned heavily towards death metal, it laid the foundation for the journey to the black metal realm. In 1992, Darkthrone would release their seminal album A Blaze in the Northern Sky. This marked a turning point for the band and became a landmark release in the history of black metal. The album abandoned the technical intricacies of death metal in favour of a raw and minimalistic approach, setting the stage for their future direction. One of the most intriguing aspects of Darkthrone's journey is their commitment to unconventional recording methods. Both Fenris and Nocturno Culto decided to record their music on old, outdated equipment to achieve a raw and unpolished sound. This approach became a hallmark of their discography and contributed to their distinct identity. As Darkthrone delved deeper in the mid-90s into the black metal scene, they became closely associated with the Inner Black Circle, a group of Norwegian black metal bands and individuals who shared a fascination with the occult and extreme music. This connection further solidified their presence in the underground and contributed to their mystique. Beyond their renowned discography, Darkthrone has some fascinating obscurities. Did you know that their song Catharian Life Code from the album Under a Funeral Moon is an anagram for Hate the Christian Life? Or that Fenris has a passion for running and even ran for public office in Norway? Something else you might not have known is that in 1991, when Mayhem were recording their Dawn of the Black Hearts live album, Darkthrone were actually said to be in the crowd, watching live, like many other black metal musicians, such as members of Emperor. During this time, Darkthrone would have their fair share of controversy, one of those being their album covers. The cover art for Transylvanian Hunger in particular caused a stir upon its release due to its stark simplicity and alleged association with extremist ideologies. However, the band has consistently stated that their art is meant to reflect the essence of their music and not promote any political agenda. It would be the Transylvanian Hunger album which really put Darkthrone on the map. While Soulside Journey and A Blaze in the Northern Sky were all highly recognised as excellent albums, Transylvanian Hunger really did bring Darkthrone into the mainstream. However, it wouldn't necessarily be a good thing. Throughout their journey, Darkthrone had remained fiercely devoted to the underground ethos. They intentionally avoided mainstream attention, rejected commercial success, and remained enigmatic figures in the metal community. This steadfast commitment to the underground allowed them to maintain their artistic integrity and independence. And while they tried to keep this underground appearance, ultimately Transylvanian Hunger and later albums would bring Darkthrone to the attention of the public eye and mainstream music listeners. While Darkthrone did perform live a number of times, it would be in 1996, following the release of the album Panzerfaust, that Darkthrone would perform live for the final time. As of July 2023, Darkthrone has not performed live in any country worldwide, and there are simply rumours of small gigs which are done for friends and small groups. However, these are merely rumours. Panzerfaust saw Darkthrone explore new territory. The album retained the raw and primitive black metal essence, but incorporated subtle changes in their songwriting. It featured more mid-paced and doom-laden tracks, showcasing the band's ability to craft diverse compositions. The album's theme drew inspiration from historical warfare, reflecting the band's fascination with war and destruction. Darkthrone would go on to release more albums as the years went on. However, when you get to around the mid-2000s, there is a story that is worth mentioning involving Fenris. You see now, tension in the black metal community had been kind of low for quite a while. Following the murder of Euronymous at the hands of Vicinus, nothing of the sort had come to fruition that was anything similar to it. In an interview with Rob Darkin in 2005, Darkin said that Karcherov had planned to kill Fenris from Darkthrone. Karcherov was a fellow black metal musician who performed in bands such as Infernum and Graveland. In 2005, Karcherov was trading tapes and CDs with Fenris when, upon sending a CD to Fenris, he did not receive one back. This could have been something as simple as Fenris forgetting to send something back to Karcherov, or it could have been that Fenris had lost interest in trading with Karcherov. However, Karcherov took this quite seriously. Karcherov had suffered from schizophrenia for a very long time, and in 2004, he had bought a one-way ticket to Sweden. An excerpt from the interview on Metal Encyclopedia. His schizophrenia destroyed him. His trip to Norway in order to kill Fenris is just one of the many proofs of his sickness. He had armed himself with axes, knives and chains, packed his rucksack, the most important zines, books, and CDs with spiritual and ideological value, and he was ready to go. He, however, had made a mistake in purchasing a one-way ticket to Sweden, and he attracted the attention of the custom officers. They searched his stuff and found many interesting things, and upon searching his belongings, they arrested him. His mental condition was really bad at the time, and they didn't know what to do with him. The next day, they sent him back to Poland. Later, the Swedish police would use these actions in the press and spread news that Polish Satanists had come to Scandinavia to burn churches. After being deported back to Poland, Karcherov would unfortunately commit suicide due to his mental issues. The musical transformation witnessed across these albums solidified Darkthrone's legacy as pioneers of the Norwegian black metal movement. Their refusal to follow trends and their uncompromising approach to their craft made them a revered and influential force in the underground metal scene. Their dedication to the dark, atmospheric, and raw essence of black metal continues to inspire countless bands and fans worldwide. From their death metal roots in Soulside Journey to the chilling and haunting atmospheres of Transylvanian Hunger and Under a Funeral Moon, and the exploration of new themes in Panzerfaust, Darkthrone's musical journey stands as a testament to their artistic integrity and vision. Thanks for tuning into this episode of Metal Historia. Personally, Darkthrone has been my favourite black metal band. While I've listened to plenty of more mainstream and more obscure and underground, overground, all types of black metal bands, Darkthrone still stands as probably my favourite. If you're new to black metal and Darkthrone in general, I would start with albums like Under a Funeral Moon. As many agree, it is the most accessible and universal Darkthrone album. Albums such as Soulside Journey with its death metal influences and Panzerfaust with the essence of doom metal aren't as open to new listeners. However, you can really listen to any Darkthrone album and still get a good sense of what the band is like. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.